When it comes to the overall design of your Shopify website, it can literally make or break whether or not you make sales in the first place. I've seen tons of people out there design a Shopify website, think it looks great, and then they end up making $0 in the process because their designs either aren't good enough or their website just looks awful. In today's video, we're going to show you a full step-by-step tutorial on how to actually design your Shopify website to actually make conversions at the end of the day. We'll show you everything you need to know, including how to use Shopify Store Editor, how to actually build a beautiful custom looking Shopify store, and even some tips and tricks that we've picked up along the way in the process of running hundreds of thousands of dollars in Shopify online e-commerce stores. This video serves as a step-by-step tutorial that will give you everything you need to know in this process, so make sure you don't skip around. Watch the video from the beginning to the end and follow along with my instructions so that way you can have a beautiful looking Shopify store at the end of it. The first thing I want to do too is that if you want to get started with Shopify and start building the store for literally free today, you can do so by using the link down in the description of this video. Once you click that link, you'll be taken to a page that looks like this. All you have to do to get access to the 3-day free trial plus only $1 for your first month is by entering in your email address. Once you enter your email address, you'll then just hit the start free trial button. Once you've entered in your email address and officially got inside of Shopify's ecosystem, they'll start asking you just a couple of quick questions. A couple of these questions are going to be things about what kind of business you're trying to run and what kind of products you're trying to sell. For the sake of this video, we can actually go ahead and skip all of this though, because these are pretty easy questions that you can answer on your own. Once you've entered in those details, it will then ask you where your business will be located in the first place. You can choose a couple of different options here, and I'd recommend obviously going with the location of the business that it's going to be in the first place. Once we've selected our location, we'll then hit the next button, which will then ask us to create a quick Shopify account. We can do this with a variety of different methods with either an email address, an Apple ID, a Facebook account, or a Google account. We'll go ahead and sign up with our email. All we have to do now is enter in our email address, enter in a password, and then complete the CAPTCHA, and we can create our Shopify account. Now, once we've created our Shopify account, we officially will be inside of Shopify's homepage. This is the page you'll be greeted with, and this is where you can start making changes to your website. As you can see, it'll give you a quick setup guide here to get all of the important backend details set up. And if you're curious about getting those backend details set up and setting up your Shopify store properly, make sure to check out one of our other videos that we have posted on this channel that goes over that. We have full walkthrough tutorials that will give you everything you need to know when it comes to the finite and important details that you have to set up on your Shopify store. Now, for the sake of this video, we're going to be building our own store and showing you how the design process should work. Now, in order to get started with designing our online store, we're going to head over to the left here under the Sales Channels tab and click the Online Store button. Once we click the Online Store button, we'll then be taken to a few different tabs here. We have a Themes tab, a Blog Post tab, a Pages tab, a Navigation tab, and a Preference tab. We're going to start on the Themes tab because that's where we're going to be doing most of our designing today. The first thing we want to do is pick a theme. Now, the current theme that they give you as a default is the Dawn theme. Now, this is a pretty good theme, and again, we do have a ton of popular free themes that we can choose from. Plus, there's even paid themes if you want to pay for a theme. I would personally recommend just to go with a free theme. It's not so much about the type of theme that you end up getting, but it's how you actually design it in the first place. So for this video, we're just going to stick with a Dawn theme and start from here as a starting point. All we have to do is head over to the right here where it says Customize and click the Customize button. As you can see, we are now officially inside of our Dawn theme and inside of Shopify's own store editor. Inside their store editor, we have a host of different options that we can choose from. In today's video, we'll be building a clothing brand, which is a very popular e-commerce store option. Now, this clothing brand is called Lace. Now, we already have a huge folder of assets that we've already built out for this store. Because of that, I'm going to be importing a lot of stuff on here, so make sure you have your own folder of assets for your brand. These can be things like header images, product images, and of course, logos. Now, the first thing we want to do is change some of this generic text. We'll start here at the top where this is the announcement bar. Once we click on the announcement bar, it'll show us on the left here a bunch of different options that we can choose from. The first of these is the color scheme option. Now, we can change the color scheme to be realistically almost anything we could think of. As you can see, they have a list of pre-made color schemes. We'll just go ahead with this blue color scheme right here. Works a little bit better for the announcement bar and gives people a clear idea of what they're looking at. Now, instead of this just saying welcome to our store, we wanted to say something a little bit more specific. In order to actually change that, we'll head over to the left here and click the welcome to our store text box. Once we click this text box, we then go inside here and change it to say whatever we would like. Let's say, for instance, in our clothing store, we're going to be running a 50% off discount. All we have to do here is type 50% off with code 50OFF. As you can see, we now have a super handy announcement bar that will always be at the top of our website where people can see a discount code they can use at checkout. This is super helpful and will very likely increase your conversion rate, so I would definitely recommend giving this a try. Now, some of the other things we can do on here is change things things like the header. This header is a little bit bland and boring, and it doesn't really give us a lot of options. What we want to do is click on the header, head over to the left here. As you can see, we can click this change menu option. We now have a host of different things that we can do here. We can create a menu, we can adjust our footer menu, or we can have a main menu option. Now, if we want to have more selections here, instead of just home, catalog, and contact, we can actually go create a menu. Now, inside the menu creator, this is actually pretty easy to do. It'll take you over to the navigation tool where you can add things like your very own title. So let's say I want to have a specific section for shirts. I'll title it shirts, and then I can add a menu item, which will basically be the name of the menu item and the link to that part of the website. And there's already a bunch of helpful tools that will link you to that in the first place. So we click on here, we'll go ahead and link that to products and then rename it just to be sure that everything is nice and organized. And then we just have to click the add button. Once we've done that, we officially have new menu items in here, and that is shirts. Now we can save this menu and then it will be displayed inside of the Shopify store editor. You may have to refresh just to give you a heads up on that. Now, let's say for this instance here, we want this banner image to look a little bit better. We don't want this default clip art, and we definitely don't want it to just say my store. In order to change this first image here, we're going to click on the image banner and head over to the left. The first thing we can do is either explore free images that Shopify offers you, which are super helpful, and then we can also select an image as well. Now, when we click the select an image option, we want to go ahead and import our images that we're going to put here. We'll upload the image, head over to our desktop, and then we can officially add our very first part of our website. We have a hero image here, which is basically kind of like our banner cover, and then we'll hit the open option. Once this is fully uploaded inside of our Shopify store, we'll be able to select this and officially display it on our website. Once we've selected this, we'll then hit the done option. As you can see, we now officially have our hero banner. Now, let's say for instance, we want this My Store button to change the text altogether. We want it to look a little bit better, and it just obviously looks really bad in this position right here. First thing we want to do is click on it, and then as you can see, we can edit the name of this. So we can change it to say just about anything. We'll just change it to the name of the brand, which is Glace. We can then even change things like the font color and even make it bold. Now, let's say you don't really like the position of the header in the first place and you want it to be in a different part of this website. The first thing we would do is head on back over to the header option, and then we would go ahead and change the padding, which is basically just how much space you have on each side of it, which for this instance, we'll just drop it all the way down to 0. Now, if we want to change the desktop content position, we simply click on this drop down right here, and we can change to any of these pre-existing options. Let's say we want it to go to the top left, which looks a little bit better. Or for this instance, let's say we want it to go to the middle left, which probably looks just about where we would like it. Now, let's say we want to scroll down here and see our featured products, which is actually the pre-existing one that we have at our disposal right here. We would simply click on this featured selection option, scroll up to the top here, and then we can actually start messing around with what this says. So instead of feature products, we can make this just say products. And for the actual products themselves, we can even go further. We can go here to where it says collection. Now we can either remove the collection or change the collection. We can change the collection by going in here and then creating a whole new collection of products by hitting the plus create collection option. Once we click that option, it will then take us over to the collections tab. This is where we can take all of our pre-existing products and start creating a collection of them to post onto our website. We'll just name this summer shirts or something like that. It could realistically, this could be whatever you want it to say. We then can add a short description, and then we just simply have to add our images. Now for our images, we already have product images, so we can go inside here and start adding product images of these different shirts and pants, t-shirts, jackets, and a host of other type of apparel. We'll go ahead and just add this image, which will then show right here. And then once we're done with all of this, we'll hit the save button. We've officially created our first collection. Now all we have to do is head back over to our store, make sure to save all the content, hit the refresh button. And as you can see, we officially have our summer shirts collection at our disposal. We then could select this and hit the select button, which will then update this to be that collection. Now that's basically how you're going to be linking to the collection itself. But what if we want to change this to actually not have just random clip art t-shirts? Well, the key here will be to scroll down on the feature collection tab. Once we scroll down here, we'll then have the option to start messing around with some of these images and features. Now, the reason this isn't showing up in this specific thing is because we don't actually have multiple products inside of our collection yet. Because of this, once we get more products in here, this feature collection will then fill out on its own. Now, really quick here, I want to show you guys how to add your own sections to this so you're not just editing off the base level version of Shopify. We can go up here to this little plus thing and either add a section to a header or add a section to a template. Now we can just go ahead and add the section to the template because that's what we're actually editing right here. Now, as you can see here on the left here, we have a bunch of different pre-made templates that we can choose from. We can add things like an image banner, a slideshow, collage, multi-column, multi-row, and a host of other helpful templates. We can even add things like videos and blog post embeds. Now, for the key here is that if we want to add any of these, let's say we just want to add a quick little rich text, something about our brand, and we can add a few details here. Once Once again, this is super easy to edit. We simply click on the text box, go over here to the left, and type out anything we would like to type out. And the same goes for the rest of these text boxes as well. If you want to go down here and change something like the button, we simply click on the button, and then we can go ahead and change the name of the button. We can add a first button link and a second button link and a host of other benefits here as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's very easy to get started with Shopify and start creating a beautiful store in the process. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below, and let me know what kind of stores that you guys are planning on building. If you guys want to get started with Shopify for the first 3 days for absolutely free, make sure to use the link down in the description of this video. It's how you're going to get access to a 3-day free trial plus your first month for only $1. It's the best way to get started with Shopify and start playing around with everything before you actually invest in one of their plans. Also, please remember all the links in the description are affiliate links, and we do earn a small commission from each one that goes directly towards supporting this channel. So thank you in advance for supporting us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a future video.